What's up, y'all? It's Poppin' and Steve. About to react to this impressive vid. Apparently, the truth has come out about why Jeezy decided to officially divorce Jeannie. Okay, and apparently it has to do with her anger issues and her toxic mama. Okay, so the truth is out. So we're gonna get the full tea about what happened with their relationship, and also Remy and her man is allegedly splitting. They headed for divorce as well. People breaking up in these streets, child. But that's what happens. That's life. People break up. It is what it is. Anyway, let's see what's going on with them. Let's watch.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive Channel. Now, I'm sure you all have heard that the rapper Jeezy is divorcing the TV host Jeannie Mai after only 2 years of marriage. He was the one who actually filed for divorce, which was a huge shock. A lot of people felt like something big must have happened for him to just leave Jeannie. But in the divorce filing, Jeannie...
Very, very interesting. Nobody was saying that until Tamar opened her big mouth and implied that something big must have happened. Oh my God, it must have been something crazy, something real foul. But if it has to do with her anger issues and her toxic mama, that's nothing foul. Like, a lot of people have their, family members butting into their business, which is annoying. And a lot of people got anger issues, which ain't right. But it's not anything foul or super over the top or crazy like Tamar was implying. Anyway, yeah, let's watch.
He said that the marriage was irretrievably
I ain't gonna pause it no more.
And he does want joint custody, and he wants the prenup agreement to be honored according to the Georgia law. Both Jeezy and Jeannie got married in the state of Georgia, so Jeezy was definitely stressing this prenup. But it's possible that Jeannie Mai might be able to find a loophole that could work to her advantage.
Ooh.
She is contesting the divorce, so we'll see what
is it
happens.
because
she
of
might
the...
be contesting because she wants to save her marriage. Who knows? But she also might be trying to contest the prenup. And it was said that she did sign a prenup a day before they got married.
Ooh.
So if she wanted to, she could argue that she was pressured to sign it without getting a chance to think it through. Yes. Prenups don't hold up a lot of times if they're signed under duress. So it's possible that she might use this as an excuse to get some more money out of Jeezy.
You fucked, egghead. She getting your money.
There was a woman who claimed to know Jeannie who told the lead attorney on YouTube that Jeannie would be the type to try to get as much money as possible out of this divorce.
So I'm not sure, but I'm going to meet, and I actually know Jeannie Mai. She went to Vietnam with a group where she claimed that she was helping the poor Vietnamese, but it turned out that she went back to the U.S. and claimed that she was donating to all of these organizations, which she did not. It was a marketing ploy. So just based on that, just based on that attitude alone, Jeezy will lose his shirt.
Wait, who are you again, lady? How do you know this?
Because if she's profiting from the poor of her own countrymen, she is definitely going to take both his shorts, his pants, and his shoes.
Wow. So you think she's definitely gonna contest the prenup?
Oh, for sure.
Now, there have been more updates about Jeezy and Jeannie's impending divorce. And in my previous video about this topic, I did make a lot of speculations. I did. I was making some wild speculations, and I should have waited for some sources to come forward and give more.
Girl, long as you know, her audience must have been on her ass because if she's coming out and saying this, it's probably because they was probably complaining like, girl, you doing too much. Because I was even saying that in my reaction. I'm like, all right, girl, all right. Like, you making a whole lot of speculations. Like, of course, we all do it, but hers was just, it was wild. So long as she know.
Now, a source close to Jeezy's camp did tell Entertainment Tonight that the reason why he filed for divorce from Jeannie is because they had completely different family values and expectations. They had different views, and they felt like each other's needs weren't being completely met. So in my mind, when I hear this, I think that they had tons of differences, not just racially, but culturally. Jeezy is Black American. He's from the South, and Jeannie is mostly Vietnamese, and I also think she's part Chinese as well. But culturally, they view things very differently, and they do have a young daughter together. So I think they had a lot of differences in how their daughter is going to be raised. And this is why they shouldn't have rushed into marriage. They shouldn't have rushed into having a child. They did not really know each other well enough. They didn't even know each other's habits enough to really rush into a situation like this. So I think that the differences became a huge problem because they really could not compromise. That's what I feel. But I also feel like they had a lot of arguments too. And I said this in my last video about Jeannie and Jeezy. I brought up the fact that Jeannie admitted that she had a serious temper. And I want to replay this clip to refresh y'all.
Girl, we remember.
Not a lot of people know.
She said she be knocking niggas upside the head. That's what she said. I'm sorry. She didn't say it exactly. She said something about, she got a hot temper or whatever. She be getting mad, easily raising her voice, blah, blah, blah.
I think the situation.
It was in the other video.
Very
Check it out if you
hostile,
missed it.
and he wanted out. And people have to keep in mind, this is Jeezy's first marriage. Jeannie is the first woman he has ever made a real commitment to. So I think he got into it thinking it was going to be all peaches and cream, but he realized very quickly it ain't like that. Marriage takes a lot of work, and I don't think he really has the tolerance for anything that's inconvenient or stressful for him. I don't really think he's built for marriage like that. He doesn't strike me as...
She just said I made speculations in the last video. I know I did a lot of things I said was wild. I don't really know, but what it is Jeezy is this woman is I can't even talk. This woman is hilarious. She cracks me up.
Oriented either. And that honestly should have been a red flag to Jeannie, because Jeezy is the type who would make children with other women and not commit to them for the long term. He will leave them as single mothers. And Jeannie probably didn't expect that he would do the same to her because he married her. But Jeezy has absolutely no problem with walking away. He did the exact same thing to his other baby mamas. And I think his
plural?
To stay in a
he got baby mamas?
is partly due to his selfishness and his lack of duty to his family. That's what I think. And I'm not saying that he should stay in an unhealthy relationship, but also I think he could fight for something a little bit, especially if he's married. Like, he just...
See, I don't know. Me and Jeezy are here. Maybe I ain't built for marriage either, but I feel like if shit is getting too toxic, it's time to fucking go. It don't take years and years and years and years to figure that out. You can figure out a toxic situation very quickly. Okay, so he probably got into the marriage and was like, damn, this is fucked up. He probably tried. Clearly he tried. They was together for 2 years. He's like, all right, putting forth effort. But if it gets to a point where it's too toxic, you gotta dip. You gotta move on. Okay, he already up there in age. Look at the gray in his beard, all right? What's the point of him spending several more years with this woman if he felt like it was too toxic? I'm a big believer in throwing up the deuces, okay? Relationship, marriage, whatever the fuck. It's time to go if it's a bad situation. It does not take several years to determine that. Trust me, I know, okay? I've been in situations anyway where I was like, what the fuck was I doing? I should have been there. What was I doing? What was this? You know? So I don't feel like you need to fight for, it's hard, so you gotta fight. No. It should not be a constant fight. Nobody wanna fight all the goddamn time. Fight for years and years and years. No, it's time to go. I'm pro-divorce.
With his wife.
I don't think marriage for me.
He could fight a little harder, but...
Girl, you don't know how hard this man fought. 2 years is a very long time. That's a very long time. A lot of shit can happen in 2 years. It probably got way too toxic for him. Obviously, I don't know. This is my speculation. But if you're going to file for divorce, that tells me that, you was over it. You're over it. That is what that means. It don't tell me shit. That's a fact. You're over it. So if it got too toxic, it's time to go. Was you going to wait several more years and continue to live in toxicity? No.
I get the feeling that he doesn't like the inconvenience. If things is inconvenient for him, he will step away.
I mean,
as he should. Jeezy stepped away from Jeannie for minor reasons, and I do have to credit Funky Dineva from Fox Soul because he actually got the inside scoop about this. But it was said that Jeezy could not handle Jeannie and her overbearing family. Her mother lives with her. The brother lives with her.
Oh, hell no.
For him. And
it's really time to go.
Live together. Children take care of their parents.
Okay, good for them. Cool. In other cultures, I get that. They want to live together. Great. Y'all could live over there, not with me. I'm sorry. I could never be with someone and they think they're going to move their mama in with us. That's not happening. Sorry. We got to get her an apartment set up somewhere. Or, if she can't take care of herself, she's going to have to go to a home. Unfortunately, the best home that we could buy for her. But she ain't in my goddamn house. The hell? I don't want to live with your fucking old ass mama. I don't want to live with your siblings. And this is supposed to be our house. This is our union. I don't like that. And I think you can be family oriented without needing to live under the same roof. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. Well, I don't say agree with. Do what the fuck you want. I don't want that in my personal life. You can do what you want over there. And if you have to live with your family, then cool. I could come visit you. Because that's another thing. I'm very non-traditional in so many ways. But I wouldn't mind living separately from my husband either. If that's what needs to be done. You want to live with your mama that bad? Cool. I'll come visit y'all. And I'll dip when it's time, when she getting on my nerves.
So it's normal, but for Jeezy, it just felt very intrusive. He felt like he was being smothered, I'm assuming, which is why he and Jeannie began living in different places, because it's just too much to have your family around all the time. And Jeannie's family is not an easy family to deal with. Her mother is very controlling, and she lacks boundaries as well.
Ooh.
And Jeannie and her mother don't always get along either, so I can imagine that there was a lot of bickering and the environment just wasn't peaceful for Jeezy.
Oh, hell
also,
no.
they had disagreements in how they would raise their daughter. It was said that Jeannie would walk their daughter to school, and Jeezy didn't like that because he felt like it wasn't safe and people would find out where they lived. So he had real concerns about that.
Yeah,
but Jeannie didn't respect those wishes. And also, Jeannie likes putting on a show. She likes having people around, and Jeezy doesn't like that because he prefers to have his privacy. But these were just a few of the reasons why Jeezy walked
That's
away.
also on Egghead. Egghead should have done his due diligence prior to getting in this marriage. You should already know these things about her. And if you didn't like them, then you should have really reconsidered getting married to her.
Jeezy just couldn't tolerate a lot of things in the marriage. And also, I personally feel like he couldn't tolerate the way Jeannie would talk to him sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised if Jeannie sometimes talked to him the way she used to talk to her ex-husband, Freddie. I used to watch The Real a lot. I think I've almost seen every episode. And I remember how Jeannie used to talk about Freddie and how she would treat him. She called him a Mitch, which is the equivalent to a male B word. And also, she said that she was very controlling.
I feel like I married my version of a Mitch.
Really?
Yes, when he's sick and his mom is around, it's a totally different man that I don't even know.
What do you have to say about this description of you?
You know, one word that she brings up a lot is compassion. Maybe I'm just looking for some compassion in situations, you know?
Yes.
Because if I don't get it at home, at least I can get it from my mother. You know?
I surprised myself that I am an alpha female in my own controlling situations in my life, and then when I got married, I got annoyed at myself because I'm hella controlling.
Yeah.
I actually, when I become that way so much, I saw my man actually start to sit back. And then he literally said to me one time after I was complaining, like, why don't we do something new? Why can't we go somewhere new to eat? And he's like, you always pick what we're going to eat. You always pick what we're going to do. He's like, I just stopped trying because you always pick what's going to happen.
So you heard what Jeannie said. She admitted to being very controlling. And
Jeezy, this is on you, brother. You should have already known this. Somebody in your camp, in your life, should have come to you like, hey, bro, my girl, she watched The Real and she said, your girl said this, and that. She said she's super controlling. You didn't know about none of this? None of this? That's a huge red flag. The fuck?
She also called her first husband a Mitch, all because
that is
he was
wild.
sick and he needed some care and attention. So she didn't really treat her first husband
Oh yeah,
Freddie
she's
the best.
toxic.
Now people can change over time and make self-improvements, and I think Jeannie probably has tried to make changes, especially for Jeezy, because she knew that Jeezy was a different type of man. Jeezy was not like her husband Freddie. He was not going to sit around and put up with disrespect, and he also wasn't going to be controlled. So I think at first Jeannie attempted to compromise. I think she attempted to be a certain way to please Jeezy. In fact, she talked about being more submissive, which was uncharacteristic of Jeannie because she always was very proud of being an alpha woman, a dominant woman. But when she got with Jeezy, her views changed because she was trying to accommodate him in a way and sell this whole persona and image to him. And he actually bought it.
So I'm going to say right here that I, Jeannie Mai, going into my marriage, I want to submit to my man. I'm a very dominant woman. So I make the decisions in my life. When I come home, I like the idea that my man leads us. I don't want to lead in our household and in our marriage. I want him to lead, and I have all the essence of what I bring as a wife to make that decision, but that I love that my husband will be the man that leads.
So this is what Jeannie was saying before she got married to Jeezy. She was saying that she wanted him to
and he bought it. He fell for it.
And Jeezy actually he thought he was going to have a submissive wife, but
fell
that's
for
not
the cap.
nature. And the reason why it wasn't her nature is because of her upbringing. She grew up in a household where she was raised with a dominant, feisty, controlling mother, and she kind of inherited those characteristics. So Jeezy probably
and look where your mama at, living with
person,
you.
ended up
so that's what you
want
wanted,
girl. And some people watching this video might be thinking that I'm being extra hard on Jeannie. And the truth is, I actually like Jeannie. I do. And I don't believe that she's the only one at fault in this situation. I do think
definitely
Jeezy
not.
has his issues as well. I think he has the tendency
fucked
to
up.
be selfish. He's not completely family oriented. He has low tolerance for things, so I can see where he has difficulty compromising. And he married Jeannie for the wrong reasons. I think he married her based on her aesthetic. But once his preference stopped preferencing, he decided to get out because he's not going to stick around in a relationship and try to make it work. No, if things get too hard, he's going to leave and put himself first.
As he should, as we all should.
So it's not shocking that he did it to Jeannie either. So he has his issues as well. I'm not saying that he's perfect at all. So I want to make that clear. However, I'm not going to act like Jeannie did not play a role in the demise of their marriage. And I do think Jeannie may have misled Jeezy. I do. I think she presented herself completely different than who she really is. And it's interesting because there was a woman who came on the lead attorney show, and she revealed that Jeannie kind of adapts to whoever she's with. And a lot of times it's not sincere. It's not authentic.
She's a chameleon.
And she does it oftentimes to cover up
a lot
her
of people
own
do
flaws.
that.
And we know that one of her big flaws is her anger.
Right. Did you know about her preference for white men, but then her preference for black men sexually or something?
That was really surprising because it wasn't before when she was with her wife. She was very white. Just the speech.
Lady, I need you to clarify how you know her exactly.
She was.
Were you a friend or what?
With the white dude, and he was very religious. So all of a sudden, everywhere she went, she was like trying to get the Buddhist Vietnamese to turn into Christians.
Really?
So there's definitely, she's smart enough to really adjust the environment around her. But like I said, she adjusts and digests her environment extremely well.
So you said she's kind of like a chameleon. So when she was with the
Very
white
much.
guy, she was more proper, and then when she's with the black guy, she's a little bit more urban.
Yep, she was very Christian proper.
Ooh.
Like trad wife proper.
Yeah. Why do you think her marriage didn't work out? Why do you think Jeezy filed for divorce?
Oh, because he really saw her true self. If you look at her mother has anger issues as well.
Really?
Look at their mothers. If you look at Jeannie Mai's mom, you could tell right away where the anger comes from.
You think she's one of these quote-unquote ghetto Asians? Or is she?
For sure, because
Really?
outside,
Wow.
she really had a transition.
So you heard some of that alleged tea. It's very interesting, pretty eye-opening. I will say that this whole divorce between Jeannie and Jeezy is sad, though. Even though I'm talking about it, and it might seem like I'm not sensitive to the issue, because I'm honestly trying to dig for some tea. It is sad because they do share a young daughter together, and I just wish things would have been different. But honestly, I think Jeezy
child.
got
I mean, this is her job. This is our job,
they got
right?
together way too fast. They didn't get a chance to really know each other, and everything went downhill. Now, it might get to a point where they do actually work on their marriage. Who knows? When I first heard Jeezy and Jeannie got married, I was actually excited for them. So I'm not going to act like, oh, I want them to separate, because honestly, I don't. But it seems like things have gotten to a point of no return. We're just going to have to see what happens with this whole situation. But anyway, tell me what y'all think about this.
So, I mean, we don't know exactly what took place. These are still speculations. But no, now we have close sources who are coming out, showing their face, speaking on their situation. So we getting closer to the tea. We getting closer to the truth. And the fact that her mama and her brother was living with him, oh hell no. I don't know why he even agreed to that in the first place though. So this is definitely heavily on Jeezy as well. Let's be fucking clear. Because he knew what he signed up for. And then it got too much for him. He's like, all right, I'm out. Like, you already knew she was super close with her mama. She wants to live with her mama. I'm sure she shared these things with you. You should already have known what her parenting style was. Like, these are things you should have known prior to marrying this woman, prior to having a child with her. Those are two huge things to do with someone. So you have to do your due diligence and make sure you are sure that this is the person you want to marry and have a kid with. So you fucked up, egghead, and she coming for all your monies. That's what it sounded like. She's contesting this divorce. Sounds like she's contesting the prenup, and she like, He forced me to sign it the day before. He said he wouldn't marry me unless I signed it. I was under a lot of pressure. I had just found out I was pregnant. I was sad. I was crying. And I just signed it. I know what I was doing. And that prenup might be out the goddamn window. You fucked up. But yeah, anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you're going to watch. And I'll see y'all the next time. Bye.